we'll just see though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's really all it boils down to. I'm very disciplined in the sport of boxing, in life in general. It's getting to that point, but if it makes sense, it makes sense. The numbers, I know when the numbers come out, the numbers did very well. The gate did very well. I proved that I'm a draw in the sport of boxing. I proved that the people want to see me. They come out, they support.
The same thing that we talked about we were going to do in the DM before you picked Jermaine.
2026, we're doing it.
Promise?
Remember, you promised. You're the promoter.
Well, I got you. Listen, in the DMs, I got your word on it. All right, just stand on it. Good luck, handle that business, okay?
I don't know. You know what I mean? You know, Devin season. I just seen something the other day. Keyshawn was saying it like, you know what I mean? He was calling Devin out when he knew he wasn't even ready. You know what I mean? He was calling Devin out when he was 5-0, knowing he wasn't ready. So that season just...
Devin Haney just made a massive mistake. He's demanding Keyshawn Davis send over that contract, talking about how he's going to break him down and dominate him. But here's what Haney doesn't realize: he's walking straight into a trap that could absolutely destroy his career. Because while Haney's been sitting around dealing with steroid allegations and legal drama, Keyshawn Davis has been turning into an absolute monster in the ring. And the timing of this callout, it's no coincidence. Davis knows something the rest of us are just starting to figure out.
Come out swinging, come out wild like he does, but you know, I'm gonna break him down. I'm gonna crush him. I'm gonna step.
Here's the thing about this rivalry that nobody's talking about. These two have been going at each other for years, but it's never been just about boxing. This is personal. This is about pride, respect, and proving who's the real deal in a division that's absolutely stacked with talent. Keyshawn Davis has been watching Haney get all the spotlight, all the big fights, all the recognition, while he's been grinding in the background. And now Davis is ready to take everything Haney's built and rip it away from him. The heated exchanges we've seen on social media are just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, both camps have been plotting this moment for months.
Around Shakur as an amateur and shit. So Shakur introduced me to Floyd, Devin Haney, all that type of shit. So there's a hell of times I'm around Devin Haney and we 24 fitness playing basketball, regular shit before niggas became celebrities type shit, or just who we are today. And it just never showed. Nigga never even looked me in my eyes. Nigga never showed me respect. Like nigga never. Shakur always like, yo, this nigga Keyshawn, this, that, third. He be like, for real? That nigga still a kid. And like he just never gave me my respect.
He sent you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, big nigga, you know goddamn well. Nigga, now I'm here, nigga, and everything Shakur been saying, nigga, I lived up to it and then some. Fuck you talking about? And he's still like, his father used to. It's crazy because my beginning of my professional career, his father used to be like, oh shit, the businessman.
But wait, it gets absolutely wild when you hear what Keyshawn Davis said about fighting someone who uses steroids. He straight up called it a career-changing moment and exposed Devin Haney as soft. Think about that for a second. Davis isn't just talking about beating Haney, he's questioning his entire legacy. He's saying that fighting someone who allegedly uses performance-enhancing drugs completely changed how he looks at his career. That's not trash talk. That's a psychological warfare move designed to get inside Haney's head. And you know what's crazy? It's working. Haney's responses have been getting more desperate, more aggressive, because he knows Davis is hitting him where it hurts most, his reputation.
And it changed his whole career. It changed how he talked. It changed everything. So us seeing Devin Haney doing all of this with a person that had 0.1 estrogen, and we all seen that Ryan Garcia was still in there getting tired. It's like, bro, I'm sorry, there's no other word to put this. You're a bitch. Excuse my language. That's how I feel. You're soft. You don't know how to take your L's. You a person that been given everything all your life, a daddy's boy, making sure you've been straight all your life, and now you took your first loss. I feel like you don't even know how to take it. Granted, I wasn't in there fighting Ryan Garcia, but you asked me how I feel. You just took it always to suing and all that extra shit. I feel like, bro, you.
Now let me tell you about the performance that has everyone convinced Davis is ready for this moment. His demolition job against Jammin Ortiz wasn't just a win. It was a statement that sent shockwaves through the entire boxing world. Davis controlled that fight from the opening bell, mixing his offense like a seasoned veteran. Jabs to the body, hooks, uppercuts, combinations that had Ortiz looking completely lost. But here's the kicker: Davis never let up. He maintained constant pressure for 12 straight rounds, never allowing Ortiz to find his rhythm or settle into any kind of comfort zone. And then, when everyone thought the fight was heading to a decision, Davis delivered a knockout punch in the final round that left Ortiz crumpled on the canvas. That's not just skill, that's the mentality of a killer.
Keyshawn Davis goes out and dominates Ortiz, beats him pillar to post, and knocks him out in the 12th round. 11th round body shot put him down. 12th round body shot took him out. I was really impressed with Keyshawn that night. How about you?
Yeah, no, I was impressed because Ortiz was a handful. And I think that's the best I've seen Ortiz fight. We know that he's a championship spoiler, right? If you're not careful with guys like Ortiz, they can win quiet rounds, and next thing you know, you're in trouble in the later part of the rounds. This fight could have turned out that way, but Keyshawn never allowed Ortiz to play the spoiler, and he closed the show. If Keyshawn wouldn't have got that knockout in the end, then I probably would have picked apart that performance a little bit and been like, you know what, man, Keyshawn wasn't at his absolute best. He could have done this. He put it in another gear. It was a big moment, a big stage, but he closed the show, and he never let the spoiler play.
Shakur Stevenson, who knows elite talent when he sees it, came out and praised his brother Keyshawn in a way that should terrify everyone else in the division. He said he's sparred with his brother, he's prepared other fighters, but none of them match Keyshawn's elite level. Coming from Shakur, who's been in there with the best fighters in the world, that's not just family loyalty talking. That's a genuine assessment from someone who understands what it takes to compete at the highest level. When your own brother, who's also a world champion, says you're operating on a different level, that tells you everything you need to know about what Keyshawn brings to the table.
This, right? It's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's kind of unfair.
What you mean?
It's unfair for these fighters to the point where that's really my brother and we could really help each other.
But here's where the story gets really interesting. Tommy Toe Tuto Smalls dropped some serious knowledge about the timing of this whole situation that changes everything. He pointed out how Keyshawn was calling out Devin way back when Davis was just 5-0, which shows this has been building for years. Smalls questioned whether Davis was ready at that stage, but acknowledged that both fighters have been in the sport around the same time now. The experience gap that might have existed before, it's completely gone. Smalls believes this will be a good fight, one that fans desperately want to see, and he's absolutely right. The question of weight could influence the outcome, especially since many thought Haney would face Shakur Stevenson first. But now, this matchup feels inevitable.
7 for me, so it is what it is, you know what I mean? I gotta see everybody above me. You know what I mean? If you're not above me, I ain't worrying about you. If you got one of them belts, I'm on that ass. You know what I mean?
Do you like to hear that? Like hearing more guys at 140 or the big name dudes jump into your division?
Yeah, big name. I thought you was about to say just, I don't want just anybody just moving up to 47. They ain't gonna do nothing but get crowded, but the bigger names, they ain't doing nothing but making more opportunity. You know, they gonna be, everybody's scanning each other. And them coming up, they gonna have to be looking for somebody that's above them. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I'm ready to get it on.
In your opinion, who wins that fight if it were to occur?
Out of who?
Devin and Keyshawn.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Keyshawn was saying it like, you know what I mean? He was calling Devin out when he knew he wasn't even ready. You know what I mean? He was calling Devin out when he was 5-0, knowing he wasn't ready. So that season it play a part. You know what I mean? But they both been in the game about the same time, man. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight for sure.
Do you think the weight is gonna play a role?
I honestly thought Devin and Shakur would end up fighting first. You know what I mean?
Me too.
I thought they would end up fighting first, but.
And get this, boxing analysts are already predicting that by 2026, the most compelling fight in the entire sport could be Keyshawn Davis versus Devin, the Dream, Haney. For years, tension has been building between Davis, his brothers, and Haney, with verbal exchanges that have been fueling anticipation among fans worldwide. While Haney has been linked to names like Gervonta, Tank, Davis, and Mario Barrios, many insiders argue that a showdown with Keyshawn would be far more entertaining and far more lucrative. Davis has already proven himself as a champion at 135 pounds, and his performances have been more exciting than even Shakur Stevenson's recent fights. That's saying something when you're talking about two Olympic-level talents from the same family.
Good game plan, Jermaine Ortiz, and he's just not that guy. He's come up short now 3 times on the biggest stage possible. No shame losing to Loma, Lopez, and Keyshawn, but when you're getting knocked out in the last round, that's when you start questioning your stance in the top of the game. But that's credit Keyshawn, man. He closed the show and he looked incredible.
I thought Keyshawn was really good. He obviously filled out the weight really well. He is a strong 140-pounder. Body work has become his MO. You go back to the Dennis Baranchik fight, knocked down Baranchik, kind of went the same way. Knocked down Baranchik in the 3rd round with a body shot, knocked him out in the 4th round. This time was the 11th and the 12th round for Jermaine Ortiz. I would disagree with you that I didn't like Ortiz's game plan. I thought he should have moved.
At 147 pounds, the stakes grow even higher, and this is where things get absolutely insane. Analysts are pointing out that belts matter less in today's boxing landscape than star power, style, and fan engagement. Davis brings Olympic pedigree, sharp skills, and relentless pressure that breaks down opponents mentally and physically. Haney offers technical brilliance and proven championship experience at the highest level. Together, they create a stylistic clash that promises absolute fireworks. Some experts are framing it as Davis hunting down Haney, refusing to back away from the challenge no matter what obstacles get thrown in his way. With Bill Haney guiding Devin's career and Keyshawn eager to prove himself as the best fighter in the family, the promotional build-up alone could rival any unification bout we've seen in recent years.
Keyshawn Davis brothers and Devin the Dream Haney. I believe in the 147-pound division that a Keyshawn Davis versus Devin Haney will be just as interesting, just as lucrative than any of those fights that we mentioned. A potential fight with Rolly Romero, potential fight with Devin Haney and Crocker. I think Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney would be a way better fight than that. Mario Barrios, I think that Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney promo will be way better than the Mario Barrios and Devin Haney. And of course, those are unification bouts, but we also in the landscape of boxing in which belts don't matter as much. It don't matter as much. It matters, but it don't matter as much. Keyshawn Davis was already a champion in the 135-pound division, and where he performed very, very well.
Bernie, the Punisher, gave his brutally honest reaction to Keyshawn Davis calling out Devin Haney, and his words should have Haney's team seriously worried. Bernie acknowledged that he's seen Haney spar and knows how well he carries himself in the ring, describing him as a seasoned professional who knows how to handle himself. But when pressed on who he would favor in an actual fight, Bernie leaned toward Davis without hesitation. He explained that Davis's style, his meanness in the ring, and his killer mentality make him stand out from everyone else in the division. The fast hands, sharp punch selection, and willingness to mix it up in the trenches, Davis brings an energy that Bernie believes could give him the edge when it matters most.
Performances that Keyshawn Davis has is really more entertaining than the performance that Shakur Stevenson had. We was talking about Shakur Stevenson and Tank in the 135-pound division, but as Keyshawn kept emerging, he was already a conversation of Shakur, Keyshawn, and Davis, Keyshawn. Of course, we got Andy Cruz. They're going to be facing Muradaya on the 24th, but look like that fight is not gonna happen. The primary fight for Keyshawn Davis now, in my opinion, is Devin the Dream Haney at 147 because that's his plans. The primary fight for a Devin Haney, in all actuality, should be now a Keyshawn Davis. If Keyshawn Davis is willing to fight you and they call in and Devin Haney and Bill Haney, shout out to Bill Haney, he's done a wonderful job as a manager, is saying that they Debo, well, Keyshawn Davis is Craig and Keyshawn Davis is running towards Debo.
Now listen to this part because it's crucial. Bernie also completely dismissed the idea of waiting for Davis to fight at 147 before facing Haney. In his view, if Davis wants the fight, then it should happen immediately. He emphasized that Davis is already a star, a silver medalist, and a world champion, so there's absolutely no reason to hold him back or make him jump through more hoops. Bernie described Davis as ready to be let off the leash and given the opportunities he's been asking for. He also touched on the post-fight moment with Conor Benn and Shakur Stevenson, noting all the attention it generated, but suggesting that Davis's path is crystal clear. He's chasing the biggest names in boxing, and Haney is sitting right at the top of that list.
He's a seasoned pro in there, so, you know, it's a great fight. I want to see the fight, but I would favor Keyshawn just on the strength that I love how Keyshawn fights. I love his meanness. I love, like I say, his kill mentality. He has great hand speed, like I say, great punch selection, and he's willing to mix it up in there. So I would favor Keyshawn, but it's just a fight that I would love to see.
I mean, knowing that Devin Haney fight could be such a big fight down the line, do you would rather see Keyshawn in a fight at 147 first before tackling Devin Haney? What do you think?
No, just give him what he wants.
Give him what he wants.
You know, all the talking, just give him what he wants. If that's what he said, then just do that. You know, sometimes we just gotta listen what they say and give them what they want.
The numbers tell a fascinating story that makes this fight even more intriguing. Davis currently holds an undefeated record with 14 wins and 10 knockouts, while Ortiz stands at 34 wins with 15 knockouts. Those numbers highlight Haney's experience and volume, but Davis's knockout percentage is significantly higher, which suggests more punching power and finishing ability. Physically, Haney has a slight edge in height and reach, standing at 59 with a 72-inch reach compared to Davis at 58 with a 70-inch reach. But here's what the numbers don't show. Davis brings more raw punching strength and killer instinct, while Haney's strengths lie in his defense, jab, and ability to control distance. After Davis's recent demolition of jamming Ortiz, some believe Haney's skill set would neutralize Davis's aggression, but others think Davis's pressure and power would overwhelm Haney's technical approach.
The star, like I say, he's a silver medalist. He's a world champion already, been a world champion already. There's no more holding back for him now. Just let him go, let him off the leash, you know?
After the fight, Conor Benn comes into the ring. They talk, have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, you know, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, you know, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, you know. I don't even know if I would have said all that about Conor being right then, you know, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money for the fight. You know, he's been saying that, and now he came through victorious.
Greg Hackett provided the most insightful breakdown of why Keyshawn Davis's performance against Jamin Ortiz was so devastating, and why it should have Haney terrified. He explained that in camp, the team understood that Ortiz is most effective when he can set up his rhythm and dictate the pace of the fight. By applying constant, relentless pressure from the opening bell, Davis never allowed Ortiz to settle into that comfortable rhythm. Davis mixed his offense beautifully, jabs to the body, right hands downstairs, hooks and uppercuts, all delivered with forward momentum that never stopped coming. That pressure was the key factor, keeping Ortiz uncomfortable and unable to execute his usual setups and combinations.
He took to social media and responded, and he said, Keyshawn, as you can see here, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Right? Now, Keyshawn is now 14 wins, no losses, no draws, 10 wins by way of knockout. Devin is 34 wins, no loss, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. So Devin got more knockouts than Keyshawn actually has fights. Devin is about 5'9", with about 72-inch arm reach. Keyshawn is about 5'8", with a 70-inch arm reach. Keyshawn has more power. Devin Haney has shown that he's a better pure boxer. I think Devin Haney's defense is better than Keyshawn's. Devin Haney's going to control him with his jab, his distance, his range, and his counterpunch ability. I think this is going to be the most skilled, talented fighter that Devin Haney has fought outside of Lomachenko. Right? Lomachenko is so accomplished, so skilled, so talented. But I just think that Keyshawn is bigger, has more power than Lomachenko, and just as talented and skilled as Lomachenko. I think Keyshawn is more skilled and talented than Regis Prograis and Brian Norman Jr., but they got more power than Keyshawn does.
But here's the kicker that has everyone talking. Hackett emphasized Davis's remarkable timing, which he found absolutely incredible given the layoff and the move up in weight division. Many expected timing to be the first thing to fade after time away from the ring, but from round one, Davis showed sharp precision that looked like he'd never been away. Ortiz, being a rhythm fighter, desperately needed his opponent to slow down to find openings and create opportunities. But Davis never gave him that chance, not for a single round. Hackett noted how Davis pressed for the stoppage in the later rounds, even while comfortably ahead on the scorecards, showing the hunger and determination of a fighter who refuses to settle for just winning. He wants to dominate and destroy. The consistent pressure, sharp timing, and refusal to ease up ultimately broke Ortiz down completely, and that's exactly what he plans to do to Haney.
The pressure, him keeping that pressure wasn't allowing Jermaine to get set and set up whatever he needs. He did a great job pressing him. The jab to the body, the right hand to the body, the hooks, uppercut, everything he did was good. It was with pressure, and I think that was the main factor. He kept the pressure on him. The 1-2 now.
Keyshawn's timing is fucking incredible. Like, coming off the layoff, right? Coming up to another division. In my mind, I'm thinking that was going to be the first thing to suffer. But he had his timing from round one.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't nothing for him really to pick up on because Jermaine Ortiz is a rhythm fighter. He got to feel good to get his shit off. I mean, he gotta know that you slowed down for him to get his shit off.
So there you have it. Devin Haney thinks he's calling the shots by demanding that contract, but he's actually walking into a nightmare scenario that could end his career as we know it. Keyshawn Davis has been building toward this moment for years, perfecting his craft, developing that killer mentality, and proving he can break down elite competition. While Haney's been dealing with controversy and distractions, Davis has been turning into the most dangerous fighter in the division. This isn't just about boxing anymore, this is about legacy, respect, and who controls the future of the sport. And honestly, I think we're about to witness Haney's downfall in real time. So here's my question for you, drop it in the comments. Do you think Haney realizes what he's getting himself into, or is he about to make the biggest mistake of his career? If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening behind the scenes, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell because this situation is about to explode in ways nobody sees coming. I'll see you in the next one.
His face. That was very important.
He seemed to be pressing for the stoppage. Late rounds, he predicted the stoppage. Even when he had to fight, like he was comfortably ahead, he kept pressing the gas. Did you know that he was going to get man out of there late?
I didn't know he was going to get him out late. I knew it was a possibility, especially the way he was hitting him to the body. He was landing good, clean shots to the body, and you could tell Jermaine ain't like it. And I had tweeted after the second round, like, and I said, all Keyshawn got to do is keep going to the body. And that's what ultimately ended it, the body work. I mean, you could tell he's just a lot better. He's just a lot better fighter than what Jermaine is used to. I think the size. It's not that Keyshawn is a real big guy, but his approach is like a big guy.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.
But hold up, there's something else brewing behind the scenes that makes this whole situation even more explosive. Ryan Garcia just dropped some bombshell information about what's really happening in Haney's camp right now, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. Garcia revealed that Haney's team is scrambling to find ways to avoid this fight while still maintaining his reputation. According to Garcia's sources, they're terrified of what Davis brings to the table, especially after that Ortiz performance. Garcia said he's never seen a camp so divided on whether their fighter should take a particular matchup, and that internal chaos is already starting to show in Haney's public statements. Here's what Garcia exposed that nobody else is talking about. Bill Haney, Devin's father and trainer, has been privately expressing concerns about the stylistic matchup for months. Garcia claims that Bill knows his son struggles against pressure fighters who can maintain high output for 12 rounds, and Davis represents everything that gives Haney nightmares. The constant forward pressure, the body work, the refusal to give opponents breathing room, these are the exact elements that have troubled Haney in his toughest fights. Garcia went on to say that while Haney looked dominant against fighters like Jorge Linares and Yuriorkis Gamboa, those were aging veterans who couldn't sustain the pace needed to trouble him. Davis is young, hungry, and at his absolute peak. Tank Davis also weighed in on this brewing war, and his comments should send chills down Haney's spine. Tank said he's been watching Keyshawn's development closely, and what impresses him most isn't just the power or the pressure, it's the boxing IQ that Davis has developed. Tank explained that early in Davis's career, he was raw talent with Olympic credentials, but now he's evolved into a complete fighter who can think his way through problems while maintaining that aggressive style. Tank specifically mentioned how Davis has learned to set traps for his opponents, making them think they have openings before exploding with combinations that end fights. That evolution from promising prospect to complete destroyer is what has Tank convinced that Davis would give Haney serious problems. But wait, it gets even crazier when you hear what Shakur Stevenson revealed about their training sessions together. Shakur said that sparring with Keyshawn has become so intense that they've had to limit rounds because neither brother wants to give an inch. Shakur described scenarios where Keyshawn would pressure him relentlessly for 6 straight rounds, never allowing him to establish his usual rhythm and timing. Coming from Shakur, who's known for his defensive brilliance and ability to make fighters miss, that's a terrifying endorsement of his brother's pressure-fighting ability. Shakur went on to say that Keyshawn has developed an almost supernatural ability to cut off the ring, making it impossible for opponents to escape or find breathing room. The sparring footage that leaked from their camp last month tells the whole story, and it's absolutely terrifying for anyone who has to face Davis next. In those clips, you can see Davis working with world-class sparring partners, guys who have been in there with champions, and he's making them look ordinary. The way he transitions from defense to offense is seamless, and his conditioning appears to be on another level entirely. One sparring partner, who asked to remain anonymous, told reporters that Davis hits harder than anyone he's ever shared the ring with, including former world champions. He described getting hit by Davis as feeling like getting struck by a sledgehammer wrapped in velvet. The power is devastating, but the technique is so clean that you don't see it coming. Terence Crawford dropped some serious knowledge about this matchup that changes everything we thought we knew. Crawford said he's been studying both fighters extensively because he believes this fight will determine the future of the welterweight division for the next 5 years. According to Crawford, Davis possesses something that can't be taught, that natural killer instinct that separates good fighters from great ones. Crawford compared Davis's mentality to his own early career, describing how some fighters are just born with the ability to break opponents mentally before they break them physically. Crawford believes that Haney, despite his technical skills and championship experience, has never faced someone with Davis's combination of skill, power, and psychological warfare. The most shocking revelation came from Crawford's analysis of their respective recent performances. He pointed out that while Haney looked technically sound against Ryan Garcia, he also showed vulnerabilities that a fighter like Davis could exploit. Crawford specifically mentioned Haney's tendency to lean back when pressured, which creates opportunities for body shots and uppercuts, exactly the weapons that Davis has perfected. Crawford also noted that Andre's best performances have come against fighters who allowed him to dictate pace and distance, but Davis has never allowed any opponent to control those elements. Crawford's prediction? Davis by knockout within 8 rounds, and he said it with the confidence of someone who's seen this movie before. Andre Ward provided the most technical breakdown of why this stylistic matchup heavily favors Davis, and his analysis is absolutely devastating for Haney's chances. Ward explained that modern boxing has evolved to favor fighters who can maintain high-pressure output while mixing up their attack patterns, and Davis represents the pinnacle of that evolution. Ward compared Davis's style to a more refined version of what made fighters like Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward so dangerous: the ability to break opponents down systematically while never giving them a moment to recover or regroup. Ward emphasized that Haney's defensive style, while effective against certain types of opponents, becomes a liability against fighters who can maintain pressure for 12 full rounds. Ward's most damning observation was about Haney's body language in his recent fights. He pointed out subtle signs that suggest Haney is mentally preparing for easier fights, not the kind of war that Davis brings. Ward described how Haney's foot movement and defensive positioning have become predictable, which works fine against fighters who don't pressure consistently. but could be disastrous against someone like Davis, who studies tape obsessively and comes prepared with specific game plans. Ward concluded by saying that while Haney is undoubtedly skilled, he's never been tested by someone who combines Davis's physical tools with his mental approach to breaking down opponents. The gambling odds have shifted dramatically over the past 2 weeks, and the movement tells a story that should terrify Haney's supporters. Initially, most sportsbooks had Haney as a significant favorite based on his championship resume and experience advantage. But as more footage of Davis's recent training sessions leaked, and as more boxing insiders began weighing in on the matchup, the odds have moved closer to even. Some offshore books are now listing Davis as a slight favorite, which is absolutely insane when you consider that Haney was supposed to be the established champion taking on a rising contender. Sharp money has been pouring in on Davis from professional gamblers who understand that the betting public hasn't caught up to what the boxing world already knows. Davis is ready to announce himself as the new king of the division. Floyd Mayweather's comments about this potential fight sent shockwaves through social media and had Haney's camp scrambling to respond. Mayweather said that while he respects Haney's technical abilities, he sees something special in Davis that reminds him of his own hunger during his early championship years. Mayweather specifically praised Davis's ability to make adjustments mid-fight, something he demonstrated beautifully against Ortiz when he recognized that his opponent was trying to time his entries and switched up his approach completely. Mayweather went on to say that championship experience only matters if you can impose your will on your opponent, and he questions whether Haney has the physical and mental tools to impose anything on Davis. But here's the part that has everyone talking. Mayweather revealed that he's been in contact with Davis's team about potentially working together in some capacity. While he stopped short of saying he would train Davis, Mayweather made it clear that he sees Davis as someone worth investing time and energy in. Coming from someone who's notoriously selective about the fighters he associates with, that's an endorsement that carries massive weight throughout the boxing world. Mayweather concluded by saying that if this fight happens, it won't go the distance, and he's leaning heavily toward Davis being the one standing at the end. The psychological aspect of this buildup is where Davis has already won half the battle, and sports psychologists are taking notice of his approach. Dr. Michelle Clear, who works with elite athletes across multiple sports, analyzed the social media exchanges between Davis and Haney and found some fascinating patterns. According to Dr. Clear, Davis has been using classic psychological manipulation techniques to get inside Haney's head, questioning not just his fighting ability but his character and integrity. The steroid allegations, the comments about Haney being soft, the constant pressure to sign contracts. These aren't random trash talk moments. They're calculated moves designed to create doubt and anxiety in his opponent's mind. Dr. Mayweather pointed out that Haney's responses have become increasingly defensive and emotional, which suggests that Davis's psychological approach is working exactly as intended. She noted that elite fighters typically maintain a certain level of detachment from pre-fight drama, but Haney has been taking everything personally and responding from a place of emotion rather than strategy. Dr. Clear believes that by the time these two actually step into the ring, Davis will have already established mental dominance that could prove decisive in the later rounds when physical fatigue sets in, and mental toughness becomes the determining factor. So here's what we're really looking at. This isn't just a fight between two undefeated prospects trying to establish themselves. This is a changing of the guard moment that will define the next era of boxing in multiple weight classes. Davis isn't just trying to beat Haney. He's trying to completely destroy everything Haney represents and take his place as the face of young, exciting boxing talent. The build-up has been perfect. The styles create natural drama, and both fighters have everything to gain and everything to lose. But based on everything we've seen, heard, and analyzed, Davis holds every single advantage that matters when two elite fighters step into the ring with bad intentions.